What is up, y'all? Smile Michael Jabba here. Today we're continuing the series of mastering the basics. Today we're going to go over the RDL, the dumbbell RDL, and we're also going to go over the barbell RDL. Very similar, if not the same. It's just that what you're holding just changes. So yeah, let's get into it. So first I'm going to start by showing you guys how to perform it, and then I'm going to go over the mistakes that I commonly see. Okay? So if you're doing the barbell version, you don't have to take too many steps out, especially once you start to load this. Just take one step out, and then you can start. So 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. And honestly, guys, it's exactly the same when you use the dumbbells. Okay. So don't overthink it. It's not like one is better than the other necessarily. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Easy peasy. So the common mistakes, as always, can you guess? Using too much weight, as always. And again, it's normally us. But I actually feel like I don't normally see guys doing this. Maybe it's because I don't know, they feel like they might look weird when they do it. But anyways, again, using too much weight. So if we use too much weight here, what normally happens? Maybe that might happen, our back might go, then we might start using our lower back to lift the weight up, where we're trying to use our hips. We're trying to hinge at the hips, not use our back. So when we start the move, whether we're using a dumbbell or a barbell, we're going to start the move by having our feet shoulder width apart. We're going to hold like the barbell shoulder width, the weights at shoulder width, and we're going to move them. We're going to slide them down our legs while our hips go back. So the only thing is the hips are going back, and then we're going to move the hips forward again. So this is what it looks, this is the difference between the hips going back and your back coming down. I'm going to see if I can superimpose two videos next to each other. So this is hips going back, and this is back coming down. So the big difference there is the muscles that are working to move your body are very, very different. Instead of it being the hips and the glutes, if you go down that way, your back is working, and your lower back erectors are working overtime to move you, and then ends up being a lower back exercise, which is not what the RDL technically is. Your lower back erectors will work, but you want to make sure that your glutes work and your hamstrings work more than they do. Right. So once we've mastered and learning how to hinge from our hips, we'll continue. We'll hinge from the hips. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Then we'll push through the ground and finish the move. 3, 2, 1. Hips are going back. My back is straight. And I push through the ground to complete the move. If you want to make sure that you keep tension in your hamstrings, in your glutes, a small iteration you can make is, instead of finishing all the way up there where you lose tension, you can do that. 3, 2, 1 on the way down. Weight is still close to me. And then you can finish right about there. So you don't finish there. You'll finish right about there. You can still feel some tension on the hips and the glutes. If we're trying to target more hamstrings, we need to try and make sure that our legs are a little bit straighter, but everything else is still the same. We're still hinging from the hips, our legs a little bit straighter. If we're trying to target more of our glutes, we'll bend our knees slightly. So there. Otherwise, everything else, guys, is the same. I'm still pushing through the ground. Just like that. Just be careful with this one, guys. If done incorrectly, you really want to, this is another one where you want to finesse at the beginning. And at the beginning, when you do it, you might not feel it as much. But once you got the technique down, then you can start to load it. And when you start to load it, you'll start to feel it a little bit more. If you feel it in your lower back, you immediately know that you're doing something incorrectly. Okay, shout out to the camera lady again. This time she told me to remind you guys not to swing and do one of those when you finish the move. I feel like that is obvious, but again, obvious is not obvious to everyone. So when you finish, you're going to finish right there. Or if you're a more experienced lifter, let's say in your intermediate phase of training, you can even finish right there or there to keep the tension on the hips or the glutes, or the hamstrings. Righto. That concludes the video. Be careful with this one, like I said. Make sure that you like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Thank you so much for watching, as always. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next one.